Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Into the Weekend with BetDSI show that we do every week. Just a super popular show. Everyone requests it. I can't believe how many positive comments come in about this show. I mean, it's the freaking internet, and there's no trolls. It's only people saying, thanks for doing this show, requesting it. I've never seen anything like it. Right now, we're going to take a look at NFL Week 1. Brent, thanks for being back with us.
Good to be with you, Peter.
NFL Week 1, let's talk about it. The first thing I want to ask you about, right? Indianapolis, Denver. Now, we discussed Denver last year extensively because every week the public was pounding the hell out of their overs, and they covered all of their overs for the first 8 weeks of the season up until their bye. The public also loved to bet Denver last year, and Denver was also a great bet against the spread. So here we go. Again, Week 1, they're a 7.5 point favorite. Total's 55 or 55.5. Is it the same deal? Is the public just all over Denver and the over?
They're over Denver right now, yeah. I mean, I haven't got any sharp action really on the side or the total this one. It's come some kind of pseudo-sharp money, I guess you'd call it, under the 56, which is why we're at 55.5 right now. Right now, the count is probably about 4-1 on the over, but the money's pretty close. And again, the money's close because we had, the money, I was going to say, like I said, it's pseudo-sharp. It's not stuff that that we respect a ton, but it's guys who maybe can grind out a little bit or don't lose their shirts, put it that way. Public money on the side, though. I mean, that's the count there is about 3-1 in favor of Denver, moving the line from 7 to 7.5, and nothing really back on Indianapolis at all. I mean, I've got a really small count on them. No one's touching the plus 7.5.
And what about the over? Is it like 5-1 on the over as well?
It's about 3-1 right now. It's not a huge one, but like I said, our money's more under, so we really haven't bumped the number at all. If anything, I could see this perhaps dropping a bit.
Okay, that's a little bit surprising, but no notable sharp action on that one. And then I just want to ask you about, do we have two games where there's an elite team as a significant road favorite, but less than a touchdown, playing teams with major question marks? And I'm just interested to see what the public reaction to these lines are and what the sharp reaction has been, if any. That's San Francisco, Dallas, and the Pats, Miami. San Francisco, an elite team, laying less than a touchdown at Dallas with that horrible defense. But Dallas, you think of Dallas as the ultimate public team, but maybe San Francisco is close, maybe even eclipse them this year. So I'm not exactly sure what the public would be doing here, but I have to assume that they're betting San Francisco, right?
Yeah, the public is definitely on San Francisco. Right. We're sitting at San Fran -4 right now. There's out there like maybe 4 flat, $4.15 is out there. Totals at 51. I've got a count of probably 3-1 in terms of favoring San Francisco, which is, again, when I mentioned that our count, for those who haven't followed us for the years, is a wager count. Is basically how many bets I've taken on one side. And right now we're about 3-1 in favor of San Francisco. But my money actually favors Dallas by about 2-1.
Oh my God.
Now, why would that be, Peter? Because we have sharp money on Dallas. Now, that money came when the line was 4.5. Sharp money Dallas plus the 4.5. So actually, we're in a situation right now where we've got more money on Dallas and more count on San Francisco. So if we sit where we are, we're probably going to get the San Francisco money back. A lot of the public is going to come on it. Sharps will probably stay away from this game if we sit on 4, just because the value is basically gone on the plus 4.5 with Dallas. But this is a case where I definitely have a strong public sharp split. Public betting San Francisco, and the sharps are taking Dallas. And again, we're sitting at 4 right now. $4.15 is out there as well. The sharp money came at plus the 4.5.
All right, but we've discussed this before. Because sometimes these Texas area teams take huge money that's not sharp money; it's oil money. But that's not the case. You're saying that this Dallas money is sharp money.
By Peter's definition, this would not be considered oil money,
right,
no, Peter.
Right. Is the same way with the Pats Miami? I have to assume that the public at least prefers the Pats relatively strongly, if not overwhelmingly.
Yeah, it's like the count is almost 4-1 in favor of New England. But again, it's a lot of public money, not a whole lot of sharp money.
Right. Okay.
That line, we're sitting at 3.5 right now because we did get some money at what I would call decent sized bets on Miami plus 4.5. If it's the Texas money and oil money, perhaps we have some retiree money coming in on Miami plus the 4.5. So I did get some money there on Miami, but it's not something that I would call really sharp. If you look at my big count, when you count the teasers and parlays, everything, it's all one side in favor of New England, and the line's sitting at 3.5. It's an attractive number, but they are on the road, and Miami might be a little bit better this year. Who knows? But we're in a situation where we almost always need New England, and we got decent money back the other way on Miami. So right now we're sitting okay. If the things trend the way they are, we'll probably end up needing Miami by kickoff. But right now, the money's pretty much close, slightly favoring Miami. I did have sharp money on the under 47 there. We're sitting at 46.5 right now. And again, New England being involved, people like to bet the over a lot. So we'll probably be in a position where we actually end up even or needing the under slightly. So it's good that we're on the side of the sharps. The under came at 47 there.
Right. All right, but suffice to say, the public is favoring San Francisco and the Pats, but you only got a sharp response on the other side in the case of Dallas. All right, and then
Dallas game, that's correct.
Right, and then what can you tell us about the rest of the Week 1 NFL card? Have there been any sides or totals that have taken notable sharp action?
Yeah, Minnesota was a sharp play. Minnesota, they are at St. Louis right now. I'm using St. Louis minus 3.5, minus 05. The sharp money on Minnesota came at plus 4. They took Minnesota also on the money line, so Minnesota to win outright plus 165 was the money line at the time. I'm now minus 175 on St. Louis there. So the value or the sharp play was Minnesota plus 165 and Minnesota plus 4. My count slightly favors Minnesota, and my money is definitely one way favoring them. And moving down to Buffalo and Chicago, that's a game where I got a ton of action, which is really, it's a really good situation for us. Our count is both 3.5, maybe 4 times in favor of Chicago, but my money is dead even. So when my count's that heavy on one side of it with Chicago, but my money's dead even, it's because I have sharp money on Buffalo. Now they took Buffalo plus 7 and plus 7 minus 15. Right now we're using Chicago minus 6.5 and a big total of 47.5 right now. So hold your breath and take Buffalo plus the touchdown if you can get it out there. That's a definite sharp play and one of those sharp public splits that we like to look for. Just want to touch on Oakland and the Jets as well. It's kind of an ugly-looking game, but we've got a ton of volume on that one. Sharp money came in Oakland when it was plus 6. I had sharp money on the Jets when it was all the way down to 4. So we're probably going to be sitting, around 4.5, 5, 5.5 on this one. And yeah, and like I said, there was sharp money came in on 4, came in on 6. Probably be mostly public money from now on. But I was just surprised to see that much action in a game that just looks that bad. Last one I'll touch on is the sharp money that we got on Houston. Kind of surprising that Houston's minus 3, minus 120 right now. They're at home to Washington. Now, again, Washington is the kind of team that you expect the public to like a lot, and our count is pretty much dead even, but our money's about 3-1 in favor of Houston because I was sharp money on Houston. They laid Houston when it was minus 3 flat and minus 305 actually. So the count's pretty much even. Public on Washington, sharps on Houston.
All right, Brent. So I know that the thing you're basically most worried about each week in the NFL is getting killed with a nightmare teaser scenario where you have just like overwhelming action on one side of a teaser and they all, or a bunch of teasers, and all the legs hit. Is there any danger of that in week 1?
Well, I mean, there's always a danger of it, but it's the typical teams that you would expect. Denver's a 7.5 point favorite, so you do a 7 point teaser kind of thing. You're taking them down to basically a pick 'em. So I got a lot of Denver money, which of course is no surprise. New Orleans is always a public team, so they're heavy on our teasers. Again, we touched on San Francisco being backed by the public. They're in all the teasers. New England, Kansas City. Kansas City's at home minus 3 to Tennessee. Seems kind of like a low line, but I've got some decent action on Tennessee as well, so that one might work out for us. But the teasers are all over Kansas City. Philadelphia, of course, being a big favorite. They're minus 10.5 at home to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's just ugly. Again, I've got decent money on Jacksonville around 11, so we're sitting on that one. We could be in a decent position there. And Chicago, of course, is sitting at home to Buffalo. That was the one where we've got the sharps all over Buffalo plus a 7. So we're in a situation this week that we've got some kind of decent money, going our way in case these teaser guys do hit as well. So we got dog money on Jacksonville, Buffalo, Dallas, teams like that. So we should be all right, and hopefully just bust up a couple of these and we'll be fine.
Thanks so much once again, Brent, headlines manager at DSI Sportsbook. That's a wrap for NFL Week 1, college football Week 2. Talk to you again next week, Brent.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.